Today, we're going to be talking about 5 everyday toolkits that I use for my happiness. Now, you also have toolkits that you use for your happiness. And as I talk about mine, I want you to think about yours and how they support your happiness. So, I'm Tiffany. This is Flourish 52, where we talk about creating conditions in our life to flourish. So, everybody has toolkits. And like I said, today we're going to be talking about 5 of mine. Stay tuned. My first everyday toolkit is books. Now, you may not think of books as a toolkit, but I'm using kind of a broad definition of that, of tools. And I do see books as tools in a way to help support a happy life for me. On every personality test and strengths test, I always score high on love of learning. That's just one of my strengths, something that I love to do. So, of course, books support that. This is my current stack of books. I usually have more than one book going at a time, some fiction, some nonfiction. I also included my Kindle in here. So books help support, like I said, my love of learning. They help me dive into my curiosity, and they also help me create a sense of calm in the world. There is nothing like being able to dive into a fiction story and kind of escape my own life and dive into something that a life that I wouldn't have lived. It can be very, very comforting. In fact, during the pandemic, at the very beginning when everything shut down, I ordered a Kindle, and then I got into a habit of only reading comforting books. I'm kind of trying to break myself out of that now and go for some other things. But comfort books are so important to us, so important to me in my happy life. So yeah, let me know if books are one of your happiness toolkits. Arts and crafts are another of my happiness toolkits. So you can see my pegboard back here. My office doesn't have any drawers in it. So I have a pegboard where I keep all kinds of tools hanging. And I also have, this is just 3 of my sketchbooks, but I work in quite a few different sketchbooks. I tend to dabble in this. There's something about the process that sometimes I just want to explore that. A few years ago, I decided I wanted to be able to draw things so that they were recognizable, which was not a skill that I had at the time. I'm getting better. I've seen progress, but mostly the art just helps me to play. It supports me in play and exploring. It's only for me. I'm not trying to make art with a capital A. This is all about the process for me. Yes, I do want to learn to do better, especially with my drawing, but it's all about just having fun and playing. The other thing that art helps me do, and this toolkit helps me with, is keeping memories. So a lot of times when we travel, I'll take one of my sketchbooks with me, and like I said, the things that I draw there, I'll draw a scene. Like when we were in New York City, we had a morning, my husband and I had a free morning. We walked up to the public library, sat at some tables there, and had our breakfast. And I sketched. Now, it wasn't an exact representation of what the library looks like. I was fine with that. But when I look at that sketch, I remember what the morning felt like, the way the air felt cooler. You could tell the day was going to be hot, but that morning air was cooler. I remember the smell of the coffee as we sat there. I remember the rustle of the leaves, the people walking by. It's all very, very stuck in my mind because I was drawing that scene. So art and art tools help me with play, and they help me keeping memories. My next toolkit for happiness is planners and journals. So I'm the kind of person that unless I write it down, it doesn't seem real to me. I often don't know what I'm thinking until I write it down. So the planners and the journals are really important for me to just kind of keep track of what's going on, to keep track of my own thoughts and what's going on in the world, and to make everything seem real. So I have a planner kit. I work in several of these every day, which may seem insane to a lot of people, but for me, it really helps me. So I have a daily list planner. This is also where I keep track of what I read. So this one's simple. I have a planner that has all of my goals, and for annual goals, I break them down into monthly and weekly goals and action steps. So I use this. I also do a real quick drawing in this every day. So it kind of tips into that art supply as well for me. Then I have just a altered composition book that I use. This was done for the How to Be Lucky challenge that I did on Flourish 52. Um, so that's that. I have a journal for gardening so I can keep track of when I've watered, when it's rained, how much we've gotten, when I've planted and harvested things. So the journals and planners are really important just for me to keep track, like I said, of what's going on. If I have it written down, there's something about that handwriting. Digital doesn't work as well for me. I need to feel those thoughts moving through my hand onto the page, and then it becomes real for me. Let me know if this is something that you do as well, or if you just think this is crazy. This is a bit of a messy view of our exercise room. The cycling stuff belongs to my husband. That's his happiness kit. But the exercise equipment is part of one of my everyday happiness kits. This is a shocking surprise to me. Even a couple of years ago, I never ever would have thought that exercise equipment, weights, a bench, this mat that we kind of upgraded to in January, I never thought any of this would be part of anything that keeps me happy. Until a few years ago, I had never worked out at all. So I am planning to do a video about how I went from zero to actually making working out an essential part of my life. I aim for 6 days a week. I probably average about 5 days a week of workouts, but it really supports my health, my fitness, my well-being. And exercise also delivers the 4 dose hormones that support happiness. And those hormones are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And that's why after we work out, we just feel better. We're in a better mood. Exercise helps support that. So I can't imagine not having this as part of my life now. And like I said, I never, ever would have thought a couple of years ago that this would be true of me. So again, I'm hoping to do a video about that soon, but the exercise equipment is one of my happiness toolkits. A well-stocked kitchen is my last happiness toolkit that I want to talk about today. If you're familiar with my other site, Eat at Home, you will know that cooking is very important to me. I even wrote a cookbook. My whole site, Eat at Home, is about helping families get dinner on the table. I am not a gourmet cook. And yes, there are times, especially now that we don't have kids at home, that I think I don't want to cook. We eat out more now than we used to. We have more money for that, for one. And with only 2 people, it's a lot less expensive than with 6. But I still cook a fair amount of nights, most nights of the week. And I can't imagine not having a kitchen to go into to prepare food for ourselves. There's something very familiar to me about being in the kitchen. And so it's very calming and grounding to me to go through those motions that I do in the kitchen, whether it's chopping vegetables or washing dishes or just the movement from the stove to the sink to the pantry. That all feels so familiar. It helps me to feel at home, not just in my house, but also at home in myself. For me, it's a very familiar, comforting, and grounding feel. That may not be true for you. Now, I would love to know, what are your happiness toolkits? What are those everyday things that you use that support your happiness? Do some of yours overlap with mine? Do you have some of the same ones? I'd love to know what your unique ones are, that things that I didn't mention, because I know that you have different things than I do. So leave a comment below and let me know that. If you enjoy this content and this channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'm very new at this and building, so we'll see where we go from here. Thank you so much for watching.